wanna get it, man. Get your tail, it's a different lane. When you playing for the winning team, RP to Mr. Wayne's. Bang, bang, we gon' win the game. Court prank, hit you with your pain.
I be spitting real, be spitting backwash, yeah. So I'ma have to ask you all to back off. Hitters in my DMs try to hit me with the caps lock. Cause I'm always beasting on the camera like the Sasquatch. Wait until I blow, y'all gon' see me blast off, yeah. And y'all gon' see in front like the...
Well, hello, everyone, on this fine Monday. Welcome to For the Love of Details. I see some regulars in the chat. Thank you guys for being here on this Thanksgiving week. It felt so good not having to wake up early this morning. I feel so blessed to be a teacher during these breaks because I love being able to stay home. So how are you guys doing? Now, I have to tell you, just watching my introduction and really thinking back on this year, you guys, this marks a year this week, 1 year since I have been doing these podcasts. And it is so surreal. Wow. David, oh my goodness, taking your wife to the hospital to induce labor. I wish you guys all of the luck and the blessings and the love. Such an exciting time. I was induced my first child, so I know what you guys are going through. Tell your wife to be strong, hold steady, and you guys are going to be great. How exciting. Mango, I am starting to enjoy my week. As I said, not having to wake up this morning. Even if I'm not sleeping in, not having to be up at 4:30 a.m. is a miracle. It's amazing. I do have to say, we started off our morning or night last night just kind of, down. We have a new pet that we've had for a couple of months. My kids got a dog. It's the first dog, like house dog that we've had. We've had outside dogs, but this one is, sleeping in their beds, following them around everywhere. And he got out last night and has not returned. So we're putting up, flyers everywhere, hoping for his return. So my 7-year-old's devastated. It's been a little bit of a rough day, but yeah, we're here. You guys, I have a lot to talk about and so much going through my mind right now. It's a little bit surreal. Lots of thoughts. And I can't wait. Thank you, Bobby. I cannot wait to hear your guys' input through all of this. And Good Wash, did you just say bang, bang, Niner gang? Because we dim boys. Go Cowboys, by the way. Do I have any Eagles fans in the chats? Because I think that was a pretty big upset. I have to say it. Sorry. I know. Go Cowboys. But anyways, you guys, I have so many things going through my mind tonight. This has been such a ride this year. Everything that has kind of transpired for me this past year has been nothing short of incredible. This podcast, you guys, I'm going to get a little emotional and I'm so sorry. I didn't think I would, but I don't feel like this is kind of the end of an era. I have had so much fun with you guys every Monday night. I literally look forward to every podcast, to every chat, because there's just such amazing people in this group and we have such a good time. And I've had such amazing people on. I have met so many good people that I've had the opportunity to interview doing these podcasts. Yeah, Frankie, absolute good times. Like this, it's like the end of an era, but it's also the beginning of an era. And as I gather my thoughts, forgive me, you guys, if I pause here, a time or two, because again, this is so surreal, the things that have been going on. Being a part of Thor, being a part of this industry, getting to know the people in this community, connecting hearts with faces at SEMA, and then this new endeavor with Honest Car Care that we will talk a lot about tonight is just, first of all, thanks be it to God, because without his glory and grace, I would not be here. And Thor, Eddie, and Jamie, they are both angels and they don't even know it. And then you guys in the chat. You, again, have just made my life so much better. every single day. And I love you guys so, so much. So, yeah, I know I'm starting off kind of deep, but that's kind of where I am at right now. I feel a lot of emotion. I am going to say that this is my last For the Love of Detail podcast, if I didn't say that already. There is new beginnings. My podcast will turn into the Honest Car Care podcast, and we'll kind of talk tonight about where that's going. And I am sad because, again, For the Love of Details has been, just such a stepping stone for me. And it has meant such great things. I will never forget this podcast. And yes, Corey, Eddie and Jamie are effing awesome humans. Like, there is no other way to, that's a good way to describe them. I'll try not to get demonetized here, but yes, they are effing awesome. But yeah, let's kind of talk about what's been going on. Now, I will tell you that I do have somebody coming in the chats. I am waiting for him to get here. And as soon as he does, I will pull him in. But there are big things going on, you guys, in my future and the future of this detailing industry. And I don't want to get too far into it until my partner comes on. He is working tonight. And that is Gary, and we will hear from him in a little bit so that you guys can kind of get a first look at where we're going. But yeah, you guys, the end of For the Love of Details, I'm not sure how to feel. I'm not sure how to feel about it. If I could continue For the Love of Details on top of the Honest Car Care podcast, I would. I just don't. I don't know that I have enough energy or time to do that. Sadly, unfortunately, although I love doing this, these podcasts do take energy, they do take time. And so to put 2 during a week, I'm just not sure that I could do it. And yes, Bobby, I do want to say on to bigger and better things, but this has been such a great thing. I really do. You guys, I have to say, I mean, think about it. All of Thor Media, like I don't know if it's just me or if anybody else shares this opinion, but there are some great podcasts in this Thor Media, lineup. I mean, look at all of the people that are doing these podcasts. They're amazing. These shows are awesome. And I'm not tooting on my own horn. I'm talking about the entire Thor Media platform. I feel like Eddie and Jamie were really onto something. And yeah, it's been amazing. But yeah, there are some bigger and some better things coming. I do feel like it is bigger and better. And I'm excited to go down this journey, and I'm so excited to take you guys with me. And I really, really hope that you choose to follow along and that you choose to stay with me. Because I think what is going to unfold is going to be something so rad. You're going to see. So without further ado, you guys, I have my partner here, my partner in crime. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. And that is that detail guy, or otherwise known as Gary. What's up, Gary?
What's going on, everybody? How's it going? Hopefully I sound all right. It occurred to me that I hadn't gone live really in this area in a whole long time. And I'm surrounded by products because we were getting ready to launch a Black Friday sale, like kind of last minute. So it's been crazy. There's stuff literally everywhere.
I do have to say, I always am digging your purple hue in the back. I'm going to have to figure out how to do something like that because it really does like set the ambiance. I love it.
Yeah. So that was what I was trying to set up. So I got a light here. They call it like a hair light. And then I've got a track of lights up there. I'll send you the recipe.
Yeah, please do, because he always looks so cool back there in purple. Although purple's not really my color, but
hey, we can do any color. Alexa, turn the office lights pink.
Will it do it? Oh my!
It'll do any color. Alexa, turn the office lights green. Come on now, I'm a nerd, so we'll do that. We'll get that Apex green going. But there's something I read one time. I think Alexa, turn the office lights purple. Something about the purple and the way it interacts with this light, it's like brings out your skin color. I don't know. It works for me.
I like I said, it's not my color, but in terms of like the atmosphere and the ambiance it sets, it looks pretty darn good.
Hey, it is.
You know?
Yeah.
All right, Gary. Well, I spent a few minutes almost trying to, I don't know if I was saying goodbye or giving my farewell, because I'm not really going anywhere. I'm just turning directions, and
Yeah, yeah.
I'm turning directions with you as my partner, and I can't be more proud and happy that you are going to be on this journey with me. And I just kind of feel like we need to start just letting the people know where we're going with this. Are you good with that, Gary?
Yeah, I'm definitely good. I was gonna try the headphone thing, but anyways.
You
Yeah,
sound good. So
all right, good. Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited. I mean, I think where we're headed first is really not too far from where you've been this whole time, which is giving back to the community, right? It's just now you're giving back maybe directly to via like through the vehicle of detailing, which you've been giving back for years as a teacher, right?
yes.
Yeah. So I think for you it'd be pretty natural. For me, it'd be pretty natural. I was raised by people who kind of gave up their entire lives to give back and support the communities that they honestly helped build. And I think that's one thing that if I were to put a finger on, maybe what I'm good at, I think it's building communities and then potentially, just being an analyst and trying to solve problems. And I just try to use those two skills to navigate myself through this world that we all live in. So
No, I absolutely agree with that. And what I really want to start with is I think on this platform, people know who I am. People know kind of my history. Most of these people have followed me this entire year. And again, so blessed for it. But I would like them to get to know you a little better. So if you don't mind, would you kind of start with your origin story and kind of how you got into the detailing world?
yeah, so it's kind of multifaceted. So growing up, my dad always taught me the importance of keeping things nice. We didn't have an abundance of resources. So if I were to get a new pair of shoes, that was probably it until Christmas time, if we were lucky. And then from Christmas time, we were hoping to make it through the winter season. Grew up in Indiana. So, trying to get through all the little slush and the snow and stuff. And then hopefully we'd make it till tax time, maybe get a new pair of shoes. We would go to the outlet malls. If you get lucky, you get two pairs, and that is kind of how it was. So shoes were a big thing, keeping those up. My dad always tried to have a nice car, nice house. My dad's kind of a clean freak, so he taught me the importance of just keeping your stuff nice, and hopefully then it'll continue to look good so that you don't look crazy.
Yeah, there
Um,
you
yeah. So as I got older, you turn 12, 13. One of the people that raised me, they had a vehicle that we called the Texas Roadhouse car because, hey, wherever it was at, they just dropped it right on the floor, just like the peanuts, because we used to go to Texas Roadhouse a lot. Um, and so we would go there, and I was like, hey, let me clean this car. And they were like, no problem. So I would go clean the car, get a couple bucks, maybe get a couple extra cookies at lunch, or get to do something, as I got into my teen years and whatnot. And really, I loved the car scene. I was always part of the car scene, but I can't work on my car to save my life. I'm what I call car cursed. I might buy a car from a neighbor thinking it's a great deal, and then the thing will jump timing. Like, I've had the most terrible luck. So I just always try to keep things to cleaning it, keeping it cosmetic. And if I need any support, I'll call one of my brothers who are both certified mechanic. My brother was a mechanic in the Marines. And that kind of transitions to the other part of my life. I went out there to go see what he was doing over in Camp Pendleton. He tricked me into thinking that that's what the entire military is like, because Camp Pendleton is this beautiful place. It is like storybook housing. And, I'm sure the guys there, they're just like, oh, those places terrible. But trust me, when I went out there, when I was 20 something years old, I was like, man, this is it, dude. You get your own house.
Here in California, right?
Yeah, right over there in California. So I flew out there. And I was like, man, this is kind of it for me. I decided at that point, I was going through a lot of stuff in my life right at that point. And my brother said, hey, just come out here, see how we're living. And I made that decision. By the time I came back, I called him. I said, I want to join the military. I had a lot of weight to lose. I was already kind of in that transition, but I still had to lose about 60 pounds. I actually got laughed out of the recruiter's office when I told him I wanted to join. And I came back about 4 or 5 months later. And that's when they realized that they were like, oh, you're serious about this. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely serious. long story short, I ended up joining the military. I lost weight. I went into basic about 235. I left basic 185.
Wow.
So yeah, I was just locked in, and it stayed like that for a few years. Ended up sitting down with kind of the people who were in charge of my life at that point in time, and um, they let me know that they thought I was somebody who would be a candidate for the teams. So I went out there. I auditioned for a SEAL team for the SEAL teams over in SEAL Team 1, 3, and 5. I ended up getting attached to SEAL Team 1. They ended up taking me in. I spent some
Wow.
time in then. So I was in the Navy, kind of jumped a little bit, ended up joining the Navy. Went out there to go be the lead analyst for SEAL Team 1. We did that for 3 years or so. Kind of left that situation and came over here to Georgia, right? Still staying in the military. I became the lead reporter for one of the cyber units here. So really heavily into cyber. And eventually, I took a look to my left. I took a look to my right. I said, I need something a little bit different now. I don't think I can be the best sailor the Navy needs me to be anymore. So we kind of transitioned out. I ended up getting to medically retire. I couldn't piece my shoulder back together anymore. My back after going out there, all the PT, all the stuff. My body was falling apart, and I didn't want to be somebody who was constantly getting, if you're in the military, you know what I'm talking about. You always have to get a chit. You always have to get an excuse. I don't want to have to keep doing that. I wanted to make sure that when you go out there on the teams, the whole thing is the reason why they all call each other by their first names, right? Is you want to know that guy and have a personal connection, and you want to know that if something goes down, that person can save your life.
Mhm.
And when I got out of that kind of environment, that never left with me. So me having a bum shoulder, me having a bad back, I'm like, this is a liability, right? I'm gaining weight. I'm doing all these different things. I'm trying to figure it out. I was like, I need to just cash this in. I need to start something else. And that's what we did. So we transitioned out 2021 now, about to be 3 years. About to be 3 years. I don't even know how many years anymore. And
They all came together after a while,
they
huh?
really do. So I got out in January, so I always have to think. Just like my daughter's birthday is at December 31st. It's like the worst. I'm always just like, what year was she born? And people look at me like I'm a terrible dad. And I'm like, I am. Um, so anyways, so yeah, so we transitioned out. I stayed here, stateside in Georgia. 2017, I went through a lot of stuff on deployment, and I kind of fell back in love with detailing. Um, and you know, if anybody knows that story, you can follow it. It's a long one. But I just fell back in love with detailing, and I ended up right around when everybody else did, around 2020, you know, when all that the world kind of stopped and nobody could go to work and all that type of stuff. I really just started like talking to my dad. He came in town, and he saw that I was really busy. My dad's always been a hustler. He's like, when I get back in town, I want to do detailing. I was like, cool. He would call me every day, and he still does to this day. From Walmart, from AutoZone, from O'Reilly, what products are good? Well, you know, I don't know what to get. And I recorded one of those videos from one time just preemptively because I was at Walmart and I was bored, like wife and the kids were running around crazy. I was like, let me go see what they got, dude. And I ended up recording a video just, hey, Pop, like this is good, this is bad, whatever. And before I went to bed that night, I threw that video online, and I woke up and I had 70,000 followers.
Gosh.
And, that right there was just kind of a sign. You know how you're always asking people, you know, somebody for a sign, like what's next, what do I do in my life. So as I transitioned out, I just became more involved in the detailing community, and for me, it's always just been giving back because of this following. As I made that transition out, it just gave me hope that like I could amount to something outside of the military. Because before I joined the military, things were really just not going well. I wasn't really proud of the person that I had became and who I was becoming. So the military was a huge band-aid for that. But once you get out of that, it's really a whole mind thing. Like, well, who am I now? Right.
Yeah.
So I became that detail guy. And, you know, I've been wearing this hat for a long time. And as we have seen different milestones and success, the only thing I've tried to do is just continue to pave the way and use that success to open up more opportunities for other people. And just to continue to tell my story, tell other people's stories through detailing, through any of the initiatives that I have. And that's kind of where we're at today. There's a whole other element of my life, which is charity. The people who raised me, in Terre Haute. My dad had to have help. Real mom left when I was 8 months old, and my dad needed help. And I was actually raised by this community of people. The community is, Happiness Bag Incorporated in Terre Haute, Indiana. And that's always been like my charity of choice, right? Because they literally took me from 8 months old. I would stay at different people's houses, different parents of the friends and stuff like that. And I had one person in particular that used to babysit and basically turned into a full-time parent overnight. My dad, like I said, dad needed help. And that's kind of like my story. Like at this point in my life, I've seen enough success. I've seen enough things. And I'm like, I've amassed in a bigger following, about 300,000 people now. Like this last 3 months has been crazy. I think we've climbed another 50,000, and it's a lot. And, but for me, it just is another sign that, okay, when you have that success, it's like, all right, it's time to go, right? Like, how can I continue to give back? And at this point, I am full focused on like charity, everything that hopefully did you make an announcement about that transition already?
Oh, we're about to.
Oh, okay. We don't want to jump into it, but yeah. So everything where we're at right now is exactly where I hope to be. And it is literally second nature. I'm so excited for what our future. Sorry for talking. That was a lot.
No, you're okay. You're okay. Yeah, I think that you and I have the same vision when it comes to how we feel about community and about culture and about our youth, especially. And I think with that shared vision that we had before we even knew about this next endeavor, I think that has really helped to kind of pave our way already together. I feel like we've connected on that front. So let's go ahead and just start talking about it. So I did let everybody know that this is my last for the Love of Details podcast, and that we are going to be transitioning into an honest car care podcast. Right. It won't be called that. I don't know that we've solidified a name yet, but it'll be something. You've had some ideas, some pretty good ideas. It'll be something catchy. But I figured let's go ahead and just kind of talk about honest car care. And let's talk about this whole idea of community culture and our youth and what our mission is with honest car care. This is something that really came out of nowhere. I will be honest with you. I would have never thought a year ago that I'd be sitting here partnering with Thor to build a brand. And the fact that it is based on something that feel so passionate about, being a teacher, community, culture, and the youth, that's my heart. So this really, really resonated with me. So let's kind of talk about, Gary, our shared vision here in this community and what we're trying to achieve.
Before I get in anything, I want 3 names for the podcast because my brain is shot. I'm supposed to be the creative guy. All right, so what do you want to call it? What do you think? Let's get some votes in the chat. We got to let them come up with it. That's really a huge part of what Honest is going to be, is people in the chat, people in our communities trying to tell us what to do. Okay, now you had come up with something and you said it was like embrace. What was it? Embrace. It's called embrace the suck. So that's a military term where it's basically put one foot in front of the other, right? Man, there's so many things I get into, but embrace the suck, right? When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Keep it moving, right? Okay. I definitely, and again, I have not really thought, I'll be honest with you, about a name for the podcast because I've been so in tune to everything else we've been discussing. But look, we have some people already dropping some ideas. Mango here, or is it Mongo? Mongo? I forgot. I just pulled up the chat. He said, "For the love of that detail guy." Yeah. I don't know. And sometimes we don't always get love, man. We ruffle feathers. So hopefully this is an opportunity for y'all to see, the other part of me, because I think on TikTok I've got a great community and they all see it. And I think really on Instagram, that's really where we've had the most growth. Yeah. I think once you get over to YouTube and you get on to the other ones, that's where it gets tough for me because not all my content ports over there. I don't spend a lot of time really curating that fan base, which like I should.
So we have some good ones here, honestly. Let's see. For the Culture podcast, we have Dreams Come True, Keep Dreaming, No Cap podcast. That's funny. Started from the bottom, Detailing and Beyond. Now, I do want to touch on something, and let's go ahead and touch on it now.
Yeah, I just seen it too.
Yeah, the Threes Company Detailer. So
Yep.
I do want to go ahead and just make a formal statement that when we announced this new endeavor at SEMA, we had a third partner, which was Chelsea from Attention to Details. She has recently, about, I don't know, maybe a week or two ago, has stepped down and away from moving forward. And it was just based on, her family and her life and things that she needed. And she just didn't feel like going down this avenue or this road was the road for her. And I know we both wish her the best of luck.
Yeah.
She's
I'll hop on that too, not to cut you off, but I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say step down. It was a step up, right? She stepped up in a time where the family and everybody, she took that time out of SEMA, right? And I think a lot of thoughts, and we are all rushing with thoughts. We are all coming from different places. And what she realized is she really missed the kids, the family and everything like that. And this is going to be a massive time commitment for all of us. And, she details full time. I think out of all of us, she's the one that details quite a bit. And anytime, you can't be in two places at once, and I have a hard time with that myself. I'm doing 16-hour days. I know you're very similar, especially now that we've started this. Like, we are just constantly working, and we all just kind of talked, and it just seemed like that was the best decision. And I know you probably feel the same, but if something ever happens, hopefully we can build this foundation. And if there's an opportunity for her to come back or something like that, I know I'm always gonna be there, because what a mentor she served just for SEMA, keeping me under check. You know what I mean? Like, there are so many different times where I'm like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be, and I'm not a part of Thor. I have my own brand. I have my own influencer stuff going on. So I'm sitting there trying to interview people and just kind of watching a professional do it, watching you do it. You guys have kind of been more into this actual detail world. I feel like I'm not. And like, it was just refreshing to see both of you guys work. And it just gives me confidence that we'll be okay. So obviously we all wish her the best. I'm sure that we'll be doing some collabs and different things. Her channel's not going anywhere. And she's going to focus on obviously building her channel up and just continuing to do all the great things she does.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm thinking about all of these names, and I'm going to have to, because I'm thinking this chat isn't going to save. So I'm going to have to take pictures with my phone, because we have some really good names in here. I should have asked, or we should ask to have you guys drop it in the actual, comments after the podcast is over. But I'll take some screenshots, because, man, you guys, like, hands that help. There's just some really cool things in here. Beyond the Culture. Thank you, you guys. And thank you, Gary, because that was a good call. And, again, let's just moving forward, talking about honest car care, our whole premise is, yes, the honesty, the transparency, taking you guys from literally the ground up. Because that's where we are starting. We are starting from literal. I think Becca said it, scratch. Can I review the chat after the podcast? I honestly never knew that.
Yeah, I think you can. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to save it. Let's just focus. Okay. Let's keep it going. And yeah, we should be able to. Well, all these are recorded anyways. I know that I stopped using StreamYard because of a whole lot of other things, but I know that they're recorded and we can always look it back on that.
I'm sure there's a way. It's not something I ever, did go back and look. So no big deal.
I'm not even part of the StreamYard guys. I'm just a guest right now. So I can't even help her out and help her run everything. No, you're good. It's not on you.
Yeah.
It's not on you. And let's get into that, right? Yeah, we are still our own separate things. We are contractors, basically, I would say consulting for Honest Car Care. I don't know about your situation. I know me personally, that's my position. I'm a contractor that is going to be basically helping volunteer some time to help build a brand that's focused around charity. I've heard, it was announced, it kind of blew us away that potentially up to 50% of all the profits are going to be put back out into the community
Mhm.
to help 501c charities, troubled youth, potentially people who have been incarcerated, all types of different give back programs. That's what Honest Car Care is about.
Yes. And I think not only that, but just coming back to kind of shaping this culture and shaping this identity, like it is unity over ego. We've gotten into, a culture where things have been kind of toxic, um, with different brands and different companies. And I feel like this is a way just to kind of bring it a step back, and kind of get rid of all of that animosity and just bring people together again through culture, realizing that all we're really trying to do is, detail cars, right? To give
Yeah.
people the best opportunities out there. We have a culture that truly matters. And with today's youth, which is, a population that we're really going to hit with, Honest Car Care, we want to be able to provide a space and mentorship and opportunity that's positive. Teaching kids and youth world skills, how to run a business, teach them self-worth, knowing that they can and will do something that could potentially, have a great effect on their life. So I think for me, it's just kind of taking it a step back, and just being honestly proud of where we are and the community that we're in. What do you think, Gary?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just ready to work. That's the biggest thing for me. I'm so excited. I feel like a lot of things in my life really headed to this kind of this crossroad. And I made that video about Panda Organizer, and I've made that same video so many different times. And Eddie and Jamie are the only people that call me back. I've been approached by a lot of different entities to try to put my name on a bottle. I've got friends where West Coast, East Coast, whatever, like, hey, come on, like, let's do something. And I said, I don't really want to mess with chemicals. That's not really my thing. There's a lot of other good people that do it. I'm very limited on my knowledge of different products. Like you guys kind of see, like it's a really short list. Because once you find out about a couple different companies, at that point, it's just like, I don't even know. So when you guys have seen me do the smaller bottle stuff or not, the prettier products is what I said. You got ugly ones, you got pretty ones. Like those have really just been give backs, right? I got this dude over here and whoever, and he's got this brand. He's a really cool dude. And like, that's really how it's been. That's how I found out about other products. But I've always said, if you guys want to do something for charity, you want to do something to change the world, the detailing world, or unite us, let's do it. And that's why Jamie and them, they came to Jamie and Eddie, kind of, you were a little bit affiliated, but I wasn't. I made a video. They came to me, sat me down. I thought I was about to get served with some papers, probably get another one. I just had a great letter from Kosh Kimi that same week. So I said, all right, let's get it, right? And then they came to me with Honest Car Care. And I was like, that's exactly what all I've ever asked people to do.
Well, and just to put it out there, and I don't mean to cut you off, but just to put it out there, at SEMA, you actually did sit down with KCX.
Oh, yeah.
And you actually had a great conversation with Diego. So
yeah, man. So that video is coming. I put out 2 videos yesterday. One of them, I guess I was messed up. So I got down at work and I was like, let me check and make sure everything's good. And it was trash. So that was with Bobby from Fine Labs. So we are almost through day 2, guys. I'm just really slacking, but I really want to put them out. I know nobody watches my stuff on YouTube, like my long form stuff. But it is what it is. I don't do it for that. There is some really good stuff. And then I will clip all that. I'll throw it to my other channels and we'll go crazy. So all those people, the biggest thing for me at SEMA, anybody who's there, who's taking the time to invest, those booths. I mean, I saw one booth, man, like they've got full staff working. You're talking $250,000, $500,000 just to have a booth at SEMA. So I'm going to swallow whatever thing I got going on personally. It's not about me at that point. It's about using the platforms that we have all been blessed to have and trying to amplify their message. And the only thing I've ever tried to do is just try to help curate that message to make sure that it's inclusive and everybody doesn't think that they're better than each other than whatever. And I guess since you brought it up, the conversation I had with KCX was really refreshing. Now, we did have one off camera. I'm not going to lie. My wife and I, we talked to Andrew, but we have a really good understanding. And I'm always going to advocate for our community. That's it. And that's the only thing that we really talked about off camera was I just want to make this place a better place. And let's talk about the whole partnership thing. I know that Eddie and Jamie, or whoever, I don't know who I'm allowed to call, but maybe we call Kosh Kimmy and see if we can get a Gummy Fix 2.0 collaboration with Honest Car Care, because that's a huge part of what we're going to be doing, right? I think some people in the chat might
so let's kind of talk about that, because when we first were approached by Jamie and Eddie for this position, it was very different in the beginning, and it's kind of evolved to something else. And I'll be honest with you, I really like what it has evolved to. Okay, so in the very beginning, it was us, partnering to make our own brand or line of chemicals. And as we sat down and spoke with a few people last week, and it was Eric and Jamie and Eddie, and I think Wiley was on that call as well. They kind of shifted gears, and now it is not just building another line of chemicals, because that's not what Honest Car Care is. It's not just another brand. There's so much more behind it, which again, you will see as we continue to develop this. But now it's partnering with other brands outside of Thor. I do want to set that precedence right here. But partnering with other brands who make some truly good products and seeing if we can collaborate on something, again, mostly for charity, and then for the community. So it's kind of a very exciting endeavor. And so as he's talking about KCX and Gummy Fix, that just is kind of an example. Everybody loves Gummy Fix. That's been one of KCX's, I would say, flagship products, if you will. Is that the right word? People
marquee products. I got told when all that happened, though, I got told no, it's protector wax, or no, it's this, because of a lot of other stuff. But it's one of the most popular ones. It had been for a long time, and I think that's why I upset so many people. I do apologize. There was another message in there. It wasn't about the product, never is. But that's the biggest thing, is what they're asking us to do essentially. And it was perfect, because when we sit down with everybody, it was kind of on the back of my mind. I was like, I don't like the term private label. I really don't, because we're supposed to be honest. How can we be honest as everything's private, right? So I think our goal, how about this? After we go to this part, I want the chat to give us a couple names of people they want us to partner with.
Yes.
I want to know who you want to partner with, okay? Okay, so we'll just keep telling them kind of what it is. We switched from, let's go to a private labeler. We've got some people funding, like, let's just make a new line. No, what we're going to do is we're going to call businesses from all over this industry, probably some people that have a history here, a history there. I'm going to challenge people, right? Because I really want to unite everybody. I hope next year we go to SEMA and it's just one big party, one big booth, right? Because that's how it was for me this year. I wasn't part of any group or anything like that. I knew that we were going to announce Honest Car Care, and I want to have that same feeling to continue, right?
Yeah.
It's about the people. It's about the mission. So I'm going to tell you, I think I named one, Kosh Kimmy. Maybe that's the most left field one. Who would you want to partner with? But that's what they want us to do. Or that's what we're going to do, is we're going to call companies and say, hey, we have an idea for a product. We know that you're really good at stuff. Like, do you want to do a partnership for charity? And we're going to build a brand around that with the advice also of the following and stuff in the chat. Mm-hmm. If they have a product that they think that can be improved, or they just have an idea for something, we're going to take that to an account. We're going to see who we think would be the best strategic partnership, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So you name one, I'll name one, and then you name one more, and then we'll see what the chat says.
Yeah. So we already have a few in the chat, coming up. Now, I think the very first one I named was Adams Wheel and Tire, just because that's one of those heavy hitters. I mean, if you haven't tried Adams Wheel and Tire, you should. You can get it at Walmart, and it's an amazing product. I'm going to tell you that. What about you, Gary? What would you?
Oh, so you said Adams Wheel and Tire. All right, I'll tell you guys one. Chemical Guys.
Okay, you had said this earlier, and honestly,
and it's I want to go to hopefully the Chemical Guys, right? $1 billion company, like I've said. I'm going to stay true to all the content we put out. I know that Chemical Guys can make something that can rip the paint off the side of your car, right? Not that we want that to happen, but everybody gets on them. You got all these different products, these different SKUs, whatever. Why do we make a collab, a product that's a crazy degreaser? It's the best in the world, whatever it is, right? that can stand toe to toe with anything out there on the market because they can, and because we can help test it, and we can get it out to the people just to kind of show like, yo, they can do this. They have a big part of this is not partners for us, but a big part of what we're up against building a brand is the partnerships that you have when you have distribution partners. Their distribution partners are consumer focused predominantly, right? They had a whole nother pro line called Smart. That's what people don't really think about. It's called, I think it was like Smart Detailing. So they already had that pro line ready to go, right? That's what you would buy in the 5 gallons. Their partners want to have stuff that's safe, that doesn't, burn the skin, do all these different types of stuff. Chemicals are nasty stuff. And I'm very confident that we can partner with them or a lot of other different brands, and we can make some really good stuff. Maybe they would even have a little bit of flexibility that like they wouldn't have normally because they are restrained by those partnerships.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Becca just said, Chem Guys is actually a good idea, bringing mainstream people into the real detailing world. And that is it. Like that, Becca, what you just said right there is the thing. It is bringing every walk of life together, into this community to learn real world skills in this thing we call detailing.
Yeah.
And,
I will say though, there's no such thing as a real detailer, kind of. Like in that sense. I'm just being funny though.
Fake detailing, right?
Yeah. We're all real detailers, man.
Detailers. But we've gotten, a couple of them I've thought about. So somebody said ammo. I don't know if and I know, Gary, products, but maybe not, a lot of them. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the lithium. Bill makes really good products. Shine Supply is another one. Now, Shine Supply, he is very much into community. And so I honestly think that would be a great place to go. They have a really good wheel and tire cleaner as well.
Right. And the partnership will go beyond. I want to talk about the other part too. So people don't understand that there's waste when you're developing products. So a lot of this opportunity will be, maybe you have something that you come up with something, right? I'll be honest. Like I have this brush, right? I'm not super happy with it. I'm not in a position to like give them all away. But when you have these multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar companies, they might come with something and maybe it's just the wrong shade. They make 1 million bottles of something and they're like, you know what? That ain't even the right color. So part of the opportunity will be to be able to give those products that are perfectly good, perfectly safe. We're going to use that excess to actually hold seminars all over the country, right? To teach people how to detail in classes, whether everywhere, right? And they'll be able to hopefully help us maybe even staff those. So the collaboration will go beyond just products. It's going to be actually the community and helping bridge those gaps that we see.
Yep. It's guys, the brands would help us collaborate on things like youth programs, community events, mentorship and training opportunities where we will actually, like, for instance, if we did, make a product, let's say with Shine Supply, then we would ask Jeremy, we would ask him to come to a training where we are using the product we collaborated on and others that we might have or he might have, and then we would actually do trainings. So they're co-branded, charity products. But Gary is absolutely right. Like the chemical part is just really a small part of what this is entirely, which is the reason why I felt so strongly about jumping on board to this, because of this type of collaboration. And honestly, I don't, it hasn't been done. Like this is not something that has been done before. And so I think that this is a real opportunity to make some big waves, positive ones.
Yeah, positive ones. I mean, that you hit it right on them. It's definitely about being positive, uniting the detailing community. I think there's a lot of people that say that they want to unite the detailing community, they want to do all these different things. And I think that the biggest thing, we're going to give everybody that says that opportunity to do it. One of the things that Kosh Kimmy sent to me in that letter was we want our doors to be open to every single person. I won't forget that last line. And I told Andrew, I said, I'm going to call you and I'm going to hold you true to that. And I told him that at SEMA too. So we'll see what happens. And I'm just very happy, right? Even if something goes wrong and that it's just not the right timing, there's a lot of stuff out there, guys, that stops people from being able to do stuff. There's contracts, there's all types of stuff. So I think that's going to be really season one, essentially, of what we're trying to do. We're going to try to build this brand, which I have some updates. If you want to share any of those, put a little pressure on Eddie and Jamie. I think me and you have talked pretty good about maybe a little bit of a system that we're hoping to do. If the chat wants to hear that, and if you want to talk about any of that, maybe some of the products that we're thinking about.
Yeah. Well, before we do that, Becca has a really good question. Why would a company want to collab with you? Just asking. I mean, like you said, they already sell millions of things a year, and that's a really good question. And so I think it comes back to, you know, the collab being bigger than just detailing. It's the cultural and kind of emotional impact that it's going to bring for the youth, for the charity intended, for, you know, the subgroup that we are going to pull into this through, again, whatever charity drive we're going on board with. So it's not just about building a product with this person, but it's about now taking that product and teaching our youth. It's about taking that product and training our youth or people who need that extra push. You guys, like, you know, I'm a teacher, as you all know, and I teach a college prep course. I also teach a seminar course. And in my seminar course, I'm teaching the kids who are failing 3 to 4 classes, who are in and out of suspensions, who probably, you know, aren't going to make it all the way to their senior year, not because they don't have the potential, because let me tell you, these kids have all the potential. It's because they don't have anybody in their corner telling them they can. So being able to use this platform to go to those specific subgroups of kids and tell them you can, and this is how you're going to do it. That is what it's all about.
And I'm going to tell you guys something. Just being from the military, the charity world, it only takes one partner. It only takes one of these companies, whether it's Kosh Chemie, whether it's Chemical Guys, Suds Lab, any of these companies. All it takes is one of them to step up and say, we want to partner. And then the public, you know, we got to make a killer product, right? And then the public's going to do the work for us. This is not just me and you. This is all of us that have been wanting to see change, and they're tired of the fighting and tired of injustice things in the world. Like you said, the kids, I was that kid, man. Like that's the type of thing that I want to make very clear. I got suspended in elementary school. I had the cops get me out of class because I was so bad. And what they didn't know was everything I was dealing with at home, right? That's what they don't understand. And so I see that first. There's kids right now during this is the worst time of year for them, right? Is the holidays. And it's not because they're not getting gifts. It's not because of all the things you think it is. It's because now they don't have 2 meals right now.
Yeah.
There's kids right now that are going on fall break that they are not going to get to eat until school starts again.
Mm-hmm.
Or going on, tears me up.
Yeah, or going on fall break and scared to death because of the situation they're in at home.
Exactly.
I have kids. In fact, I had a kid. Sorry, I'm gonna get emotional.
Yeah.
I had a kid on Friday who did not want to leave my class. I had him 6th period. And why? It's because he didn't want to go home. And so now this is something that I have to look into further. But that is the kind of community that I now feel so passionate about in this project.
Yeah, and I just think that, like, all we have to do is share their stories, and I will continue sharing my story. I know you'll share your stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to make things clear, I was so blessed. When I tell you that my life was saved by my community, it was. But I saw a lot of my friends that wasn't the case, right?
Yeah.
My dad has worked juvenile corrections his entire life, 30-something years, and he's told me stories, man, after story, and all it did was humble me. I've got cousins that are right here from this same, that are homeless, man, and it breaks my heart. So I was just always so conscious. And then when you get into people that are dealing with ailments that are outside of our control, such as disabilities and stuff like that, like, I've always had to be humble and know that it can get so much worse. And I saw some things in my life firsthand, but I felt it through others also, being an empath. And that's, I think once they see us putting in that work, that's all I'm going to do, Christy. I know you're going to do it. Whoever else we can bring along. And if they don't want to join the mission, then that's fine, right? But we're going to keep telling those stories regardless of them wanting to partner with us or not.
Yeah. This user had a very good suggestion, or kind of a cool opportunity, which I think speaks to what we're trying to do. So I have another idea: collab with Chip Foods, Mothers, and Honest Car Care, and have them use the product on a build. like, those are the types of opportunities that could definitely be,
I
you
see
know,
something in the chat too. It says, would you guys consider a collab with a subscriber? I just want to be
oh,
clear
yeah,
that our following, whether it's from Thor, that detail guy, or anywhere else, if you are watching this, you are already collaborating. That is
mhm,
how I want this thing to go, right? If
absolutely.
you go to the Thor Facebook group, we are detailing. That detail hub is my initiative. That's whatever. We're all going to put all of our resources on deck. We're going to have polls on all of the channels, and we are going to continue to engage. And hopefully, we get to a point where this thing gets so big that we have the left and right movements where we can say, who needs help this week? Who needs help this month?
Yeah,
Whose food bank doesn't have enough food in it right now? That's what I hope to do. But
yeah,
we got to make some good chemicals first, and we got to bring in some money, and we got to have some stuff we can stand behind. But I'm very confident that we'll get there because of the great people that have really allowed us to team up with them.
yeah. I absolutely agree. So now that we have kind of put out what our mission is and our shared whys and what this is all about, let's just kind of give them, and I guess we have already kind of touched on it, but let's kind of give them the what's coming next. Now I know, again, we're still kind of working from scratch, but we have done a lot of collaboration over the last couple days, especially when that collaboration is not going to stop. So in terms of what's coming next, Gary, already kind of foreshadowed, you guys are coming along with us. So whatever we are doing, you guys are going to be there for the long haul. We are coming up with a logo right now. Again, still in the baby steps. We have more conversations coming, but starting now, we are looking for people to partnership with. So
Yep.
get ready for
It's not just going to be big
right.
brands either. It's if you guys got a mom and pop brand, I've already reached out to some of the people that you guys see me promote, right?
Yeah.
Or trying to support. So it's not just going to be the big guys, man. I promise you that. It's going to be really, it's just gonna be, hey, can you fulfill this? Can you make enough product for us? Okay, cool. And
Yeah.
then we'll talk about the price and that we need to get it for, and that's gonna be a conversation between people that's not probably me, but we'll do the work that we need to do.
Yeah. And I will, Cars with Keith says, word of advice, retire shine.
Hey, I think that we bring Keith on, and he just is the foam cannon guy.
Oh, there you go. I'm
I
good with
think
that.
we need a
Collab
Keith foam cannon, man. I'm trying to tell
Yes.
y'all.
Yes. I'm here for it.
The Keith.
Um,
It's done. It's done.
Tire shine Keeve. I mean, if we could get Keeve to ever use a tire shine, now wouldn't that would be the collab of the year if
Oh
he
my
was willing
gosh.
to use a tire shine that we came up with. I don't know, Keeve, are you down? We'll see. But I think another thing, I saw a lot of people who were talking about Thor brands, which in the future could be a possibility. But I think to start, we've kind of decided that we are going to go outside of Thor brands
Yeah.
to begin with. So
Yeah, I mean,
but
the great people of Thor, like, they make a lot of good stuff, but I think that's what we agreed to. Like, that's too easy. It
yeah,
would be too easy for us to go and talk to all the great brands of Thor.
yeah,
I hope that we challenge ourselves enough to where we can go outside of that and just really do stuff that you would never think is possible.
yeah, I agree. I agree because again, I love Thor. Thor is it. But we have a large community, even outside of Thor, and we're trying to bring everybody in. Those that want to.
These guys in the chat are cracking me
I
up.
know, I love it. Make it. What do we have here? It's a good tire shine if you can convert Keith.
Oh my gosh. I don't see, that's the history. I don't even know. I don't even know. Sorry.
Make a tire shine that you can spray on with a foam cannon. What do you guys think about
The one that
that?
got me was the empty bottle.
Oh, I don't think I missed that one.
He said, keep tire shine dressing. It's just an empty
Empty
bottle.
bottle. Oh, I see that. He's
Yeah,
just kidding.
I'd like to do like a coating or something like that where it just stays on for a lifetime. I like a nice shiny tire, but
Yeah.
let me ask you this. So what product wise, talking about what's coming next, we talked a lot of stuff. Like, let's get into a couple of products maybe that we've tossed around
Yep.
I know you said the tire shine. I know you said the tire cleaner and stuff, but actually,
I'm a wheel and tire person. Yes.
yeah,
Or like a decon, kind of similar to GT. And I think we've kind of evolved on this conversation, but a soap that does more than one thing.
yeah.
So yes, we have definitely
Well,
talked about.
I did get to talk to the chemist a little bit today. Like an outside chemist that is a mutual friend, and I think that doing that 3-step system might be cool if you want to talk about it. What do you think?
Yeah, sorry. I was reading Conway's comment. I absolutely think that would be amazing. And I do want to continue this conversations, but let's answer this question.
Okay.
I think it's important to set yourself apart and not just be another brand of stuff in bottles. How do you plan on mitigating the flooded market?
I think we can answer that with this system that we've came up with.
There we go.
All right, so we know that the biggest issue that I've seen, right, with all this is there's a lack of transparency. There's a lack of, oh, that's just another thing in another bottle. So I will continue, as much as they will let me, or maybe they won't. I'll keep telling you guys exactly how things work and why things go a certain way. So I will say that depending on whatever partner we have, maybe it's a Harbor Freight, maybe it's a Walmart, maybe it's maybe it is the House of Rags or any of these other places where you buy products, that can change what that formula needs to be like. Just simply where they house it. If it's in California, you can't have the VOCs, and you have to think about all these different things when you're formulating things, right? So one of the things that we started out with is how do we keep it basic and transparent? Well, we're looking at maybe a 3-part system. The first thing that I'd like to see being a foam cannon guy is, can we make a shampoo that is dilutable, 64-1 in a foam cannon? So a half an ounce, and it's still thick and foamy. So when we talked to the chemist today, basically what they said was you can do that. There's always gonna be a trade-off, right? So I wouldn't really want a snow foam right off the bat that has a bunch of ceramics, that has a bunch of stuff that jacks up the price. I just want a really crazy, really economical snow foam that's a half an ounce in a foam cannon, goes crazy. Now, you said, well, I want a foaming degreaser. I want tire cleaners. I want to do all that. So I said, okay. So we said, okay, how can we put all that together? So the second and the third idea part would be have, a nice acid and a nice base to kind of round out that system. And we would, with education and training, show this is how you can turn 3 products that are really, really good into a foaming tire cleaner or a 2-part, system to decon a car. So you can have an acidic foam, mixing it with that really nice, highly dilutable snow foam. You have a base, right, that you can mix in and have like an active foam or something like that. Now, I hope that we're able to offer a pro line, right? 5 gallons, 2 gallons, 1 gallon. Okay. But there's going to be a partner that says, we don't want all that, right? We just want your 2-step wash. So I think what might make us different is putting that formula on the back of the bottle and say, this is our base, and this is our acid, and this is our snow foam. This is the way that you can make that at home if you want to, right? Or you can go to the We Are Detailing app and learn a way on how we came up with this system. Our partner said they want this, so this is what we gave them. Or people like things that are easy too. Not everybody wants to be a little, detailing chemist at home. They don't want to dilute stuff, right? So we'll have stuff for that, but it will always be predicated on this initial system of product.
And yeah, Becca, Stars and Stripes is actually one that we've talked about quite a bit. And that's kind of, when I was talking about a decon soap, that Stars and Stripes is kind of the first I thought about, aside from GT. And I know Gary has thought about that too. And Gary, they're giving us some ideas here. Easy to read labels with no nicknames, just the product and what it does. And I've resonated with that a little more as I've been thinking about it. And look what Becca says, bright, fun colors.
You want to tell them about it? I'm going to make this happen. It's not just the colors.
Exactly what we've been talking about, Becca.
Hey, I'm trying to get them. Hopefully, I want all of our phones to spray colors, man.
Yeah.
Like I want to have like an electric green, like colored tire foam, like out the foam cannon, go crazy. That's what I hope.
And some good sense. If we can make all of that work together, now obviously again, like Gary was saying, like when you add some things, then sometimes other things have to kind of sit at the wayside. We're going to try to make things as harmonious as possible, but colors I know sometimes can come across as gimmicky. However, when it's part of a system and when it makes sense and when there's intention, which is what we are planning with these products, then it makes sense. And yeah, I do agree that colors would definitely set it apart. And yes, that don't stain your floor. So obviously so many factors, are going into this, but I'm glad that Becca brought that up because that's exactly where
Let me get close here. We're going to have
we were
colored
headed.
foams. We're going to have colored foams, dang it.
Yes. Conway had a question, and I think if I can find it, sorry, my eyes start to blur after a while, which we have talked about, Conway. So who is our customer? And where, I'm sorry, who is your customer is where I think you need to start. And I totally agree. That's a question that was first and foremost in the very beginning conversations. And for me, I've talked to Gary a lot about this, obviously, because of the community aspect of our products. I do think that, our base, like where we're trying to hit is the community of younger people, the younger generation, people who are just beginning, who can take these systems and learn them, quickly without a bunch of, things that they have to do, like something straight laced and easy to follow. What do you say to that, Gary?
Well, that's where it gets to this like double-edged sword, right? We want to make things easy, and where it's easy, that's when you get into consumer focus. That's when you get into ready to use.
Yeah.
But if we're truly teaching young children or kids or young adults or even people that are transitioning to another, trying to make this a profession, I don't know that we're doing our job giving them something that's RTUs.
Yeah.
That's RTU, right?
Yeah.
But I think we can, but if we are transparent and we say, here's the RTU bottle in 16 ounces, but also this comes from these two things that you can buy full concentrate if you would like to. And we explain the money behind that.
Yeah.
I've shown people on my channel how you get from a 55-gallon drum of sodium hydroxide, right? And that one 55-gallon drum can make $1 million easy.
Yeah.
I want to have that be a part of whatever we are detailing is or our education process. I don't want to be the person that's hawking 60-ounce bottles to people who may or may not know any better and telling them that this is how they're going to change their life.
Yeah. No, I agree to that. Jamie, had a fun little moniker here. Fun, affordable, and effective. I like that. Yes, I would say yes to all three of those things.
Is that who's running the chat?
Yeah.
I thought it was you this whole time.
Oh, no, it's Jamie.
That good-looking guy's just in the shadows, man.
Mainstream, let's see what David says. Mainstream doesn't care about the details. They want it cheap and good.
Exactly.
Enthusiasts, they pay well, but it's a niche market. And detailers are no BS, but you can't just throw up another soap or sealant, which I totally get.
And I think that's why we've made this strategic move, hopefully. I think we've came up with a system that's going to hit every market. And that's because y'all wouldn't. No, we couldn't agree on it, or we couldn't. A lot of different conversations still need to be had. So me and Chris are like, well, how do we make something that pleases everybody, but it's still effective? Because that's the hard part, is when you try to make something that suits everyone, well, it's not effective. I think maybe we found a way to get there. Let's say 95%. I really think that we have something special here, especially having the confidence from talking to a couple people today. I think we're onto something. I really do.
Yeah. I do too. And as all of this unfolds, I think we, even including us, are going to be pleasantly surprised with all of the outcomes, because Gary's right. I think we are onto something.
Yep.
And I think with our community focus and the fact that this is about, our culture here in the industry, I think that this potentially can be something that's really, really impactful.
And that's the thing, right? I think for both of us, seeing the emotion that you've had, I don't know how many tears we're gonna cry together on these podcasts. It's gonna get gross. At some point, somebody's gonna get mad at that. But at the end of the day, it's not about making all these people happy. It's about listening to them, making all the people in our chats heard. But the people I care about, the people I want to make happy more than anything, it's the charity aspect of this, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, it only took one thing, and I would like to share this one thing with you guys. And I'm gonna roll this into what I'm gonna do tomorrow because I've really been putting off something. I made a song for my family when I graduated, and I had some time to think about this. I graduated college in like June or something like that. And you touched on this earlier. You said, just having that one person that believes in you. I hope, selfishly, that I'm that person that somebody can look at and say, or Christy's that person that somebody can look at and say, you know what, it is possible because this person believed in me enough to come to my home city and teach me how to do stuff. Because one of the things I told them, I said the difference in, I think a lot of people's lives, it's not like families and things like that, is the expectations that get put on them, right? It was an expectation by the people that raised me that I was going to go to college at some point and I was going to get a degree. And that was one of the main drivers of why I did it. It's an expectation that, you know what, you are going to be all right. You are going to be safe. You can do this. Putting those words into motion can completely change somebody's life. Every single time I got in trouble when I was in school, every single time I got sent home, I could have gotten reprimanded. Trust me, I got the door taken off. I got the TV taken off, the radio, everything. Dang near was sitting in there with the clothes on my back, But at the end of the day, I was never put down to a point where it was always because they knew what I was capable of. And all they had to do was tell me and unlock that. And thank God they did, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I am, some people, and I think this is exactly what I had, or the phrase or quote that you have said before, Gary, and I said it earlier today. Whole concept of when you try to please everyone, you please no one. And I think that is really important, but I really like what Jamie said. And I want to hone in on that for a minute. He said, when I make a product for me, it makes me happy. And I kind of like that take too, to be honest with you, because I think what we are going to create is going to be things that us ourselves are going to be proud to use. Are
we talking about colored foam right now? All right, I'm just playing.
Yes, because colored foam makes me happy. Now, again,
it makes me so happy.
I think, in a system and with good intent, yes, it would brighten my absolute day. So,
yes.
So yeah. Let's see. If you're having problems coming up with a name for a product, then I'm sure that Christian from BioBombs can help. Yeah, absolutely. Although, again, as somebody else in the chat said, I really do think that names that are simplistic and to the point and no BS are kind of probably where we're going.
Hey, what are the names I've came up with so far? Snow foam, wheel cleaner.
Yes. I tried to get a little fancy at first, and then I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, no, scratch all that.
Wheel cleaner max.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll come up with something, man. I think if anything, maybe we'll name our cleaner after whatever initiative helps support or something like that. There's so many different ways we can do it.
Yeah. And I agree too. Don't overthink it. Yeah. I think more than anything, you guys, again, as we are going through this process, the fact that this is being built from scratch, just bringing you guys along with us with the transparency of what it takes to go through this, the thought that it takes. It is a process. This isn't something that happens overnight. And there's going to be, I would imagine, some fails because, you don't have a place to start if you don't have something that doesn't go your way, right? I think that only makes people stronger. So I just really hope that as you guys come along with us, you kind of give us this grace and, kind of jump on board with understanding that we are doing this, from the grace of God and from the great minds that we have in the community. We have some good people behind us, supporting us and helping us through this. And Gary, he is a wealth of knowledge. I don't know that I would call myself a wealth of knowledge, but I do know some things. And I feel like everybody bringing all of that together it's going to make for a really good time here. So I'm excited, man. In fact, like right now I feel super giddy. because I'm ready to go. But yeah, let's see. That's a great idea. Naming after one of the initiatives you're supporting, let people know
Yeah.
where the proceeds are going. Oh, definitely.
Hey, we got a superstar in the chat, Sheep Star Detail. So
Oh.
I just figured I'd call him out because I know he likes that. So he's an absolute superstar, Sheep Star. I've had the pleasure of getting to speak to him before. Hopefully we'll be a consultant with you, man. I'll give you a call up there in Canada.
And yes, there will be 100% failures. I know that. Embrace the failures. And in fact, we talked about in the very beginning, the whole idea of embracing the suck, right? Yeah, because you don't learn. And it's literally scientifically proven that you learn more from failures than you do from not failing. So, but we are going to bring you guys the best. I can guarantee that. The best
We're
is
gonna bring him our best.
I was just gonna say the best we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, our best.
And if we can't do it, then maybe we find, great people like Sheep Star out there and they can help us out too. So anyways, what else?
Yeah, I think we've been on for about an hour and 10 minutes. I think we can kind of close this with final thoughts. I feel like I always really try to answer all the questions because if I don't answer them right away, then I forget about them, even if I star them. So
You want to open the floor?
Questions, yeah.
Yeah, we'll open the floor for a couple of minutes. And I think while we're waiting for some questions to populate, can we just talk about what our schedule is going to be able to, how are they going to be able to reach out and touch us? I think we're each going to do a podcast. We're going to each do our own podcast, we still don't know. We are going to be doing podcasts once a week.
Yes.
Sometimes it'll be me. Sometimes it'll be Christy. It'll probably be both of us, at least initially. Even if they ask me not to be here, I'll probably be in the chat.
Yeah.
We got to figure out the timing because I'm supposed to be at work right now. As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna go get in my car and go to work until 9 in the morning.
Yeah, we will figure all of this out. We will still have a podcast though once a week as we've done. It probably will not be on Mondays anymore. We've kind of talked about a different shift, maybe Thursday. We'll kind of again talk about that further. We will definitely let you guys know and keep the community updated, but we will definitely have our podcast together where we are taking you guys through this transparent ride. We will be dropping merch, hopefully at some point. If you guys don't know Gary, this is kind of what he's good at over here. That merch. And Jamie says, good idea. Yes.
Yeah, we'll have some of that as soon as I think the real big thing about this, just to check test the waters. If we come up with a good idea, then we should be able to pre-order it, right? We should be able to do some different stuff. I love print on demand because it's really just about the effort we're willing to put in. And we don't have to keep a lot of inventory. I'm sure Jamie's like, yes. We don't want to buy 1,000 t-shirts that have your crappy designs on it, Gary. So we'll see what happens. I'm really excited. I know Christy is super talented. And I know that she's just got great ideas. You guys came out with a fantastic one prior to SEMA, and I just still haven't uploaded it to the website. So maybe we'll do that tonight. We'll see.
Yeah. I think you had said earlier, like just continuing to take polls like on all of our platforms, when it comes to merch, when it comes to product ideas, when it comes to partnerships. We definitely want to keep the community as involved as possible, during all of this, because your voice definitely matters. That's kind of the point here. And I want everybody to feel like they're listened to. Do you agree with that, Gary?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, we, I know me personally, and I know Christy, we have been through so much coming up. We are going to absolutely, like Eddie already doesn't have hair. The goal is by the end of season 1 or whatever we want to call it, like Jamie, the hair's going, man. Like we are going to stress him out so much, just applying pressure because we are so focused. I think me and you are just so united and really pushing the envelope on all this stuff and just really trying to do something for the community in both ways, right? For the detailing community, but then merging that, trying to get everybody to shake hands within the detailing community, put the egos in their pocket, right? We're going to challenge them to do that. But then hopefully everything else, charity wise and stuff like that, it's going to be a great time. Logistic nightmare for those guys. I'm just going to show up and smile and hopefully and help people detail, man.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. And David, I like what you said here, that your recommendation is to get focused on the first thing that will hit hard and then branch out to all the other stuff.
Hey, they're not going to MTE.
Yeah.
I don't know if they should tell anybody though. I'm gonna be quiet. Sorry.
No, you're okay. But yeah, I agree with that, David. And I think Gary and I have kind of talked about that, is just to make sure what we do first is perfected and that it's going to hit hard, and then definitely branch out from there. I totally agree. We're not trying to come up with, 8 partnerships or 20 partnerships and 20 products all at once. Like, we want to be as strategic about this as possible, but we do want to get people involved. So there'll be a happy medium. And I do agree that as we get better in the industry, that companies will come to us. I have faith in that. I definitely do.
And if they don't, we'll figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
if we have a product that we think a company can help us with, and maybe they don't think it's the right partnership, then maybe that's when we do the private label thing. We make that thing anyways.
Yeah, but better, hopefully.
Better. It's going to be good. I promise you that.
Okay. Well, you guys, I know Gary has to get to work. I feel like this has been a great chat. I have really appreciated all of your guys' input in the chat. We will definitely keep you posted. Oh, wait, we have another question. Sorry. Let's see. You plan to take products from different companies to create a system. That's really cool, because I'm sure that's what a lot of people do in their own garage. Yeah, you're not wrong. RIP Thor blending. It won't be.
Yeah, no, we're going to be a big part of that, right? We're going to be working with these people to come up with these formulas, very unique things, bridge the community. It's not just about one blender, right? There's blenders all over the place. There's raw materials all over the place. It's about everybody coming together, building a centralized system, and, raising money for charity and giving back.
Yes, absolutely. So with that, you guys, we will keep you posted. Next week, again, the podcast will not be on a Monday, but I will keep the community posted. I have a feeling, again, might be Thursday or Friday. Gary and I will get that set or squared away here in the next couple of days. But I appreciate you guys for being here. Yes, thank you, Corey, for being here on my last For the Love of Details. Definitely something special. I appreciate all of you. I love you to death. Gary's still laughing here. Later dudes, except Keeve.
No, it's like you're being so emotional, and I'm seeing here. I think my chat's faster than yours.
Always is. I know.
And you got Jamie just razzing up Keeve, dude.
You can suck it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely think this is something great. So with that, you guys, I will catch you on the next one.
Love you guys. Peace. It's kind of my thing.
Just FYI.